Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christy, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy. Here we are in February, and I am continuing to talk to some fascinating people. So, I got the opportunity this week to interview Kwesi Johnson. Kwesi is my new best friend. He and I are very similar in how we see things, which is kind of cool because we are definitely both in the business of helping people find joy and do so in a productive way. Hi, productive joy, right? It makes good sense. A good friend of ours, both mutual friend, Travis, introduced the two of us and said, I think you two would hit it off. And he was right. So Kwesi is a change agent. I think that's the way I would describe him. And he is in the process of writing a book called Dare to Be. And you fill in the blank, right? So it's 52 chapters of things that you can do each week. You wouldn't have to do it each week, but that's a great way to do it, to think about how you're doing things, right? Dare to be genuine, dare to be silent, dare to be fill in the blank. I can't wait to read it, Kwesi, and I'm so excited for that to come out. But really, the bigger conversation that Kwesi and I had was about recognizing that we have to stay in our authenticity. We can't just be a chameleon. And I needed to hear this today for a couple different reasons, right? So, feedback is a gift. We've talked about feedback on here before, and I've mentioned that I know I'm not everybody's favorite. I'm not everybody's gift. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, whatever you want to call it. But I am a gift and I am what many people need. And so anytime I get feedback, there's always going to be one or two that are like, ugh, she's too much, or that was loud, or too chaotic, or whatever. I have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with recognizing that 100% of the people aren't going to love everything about you, because if they did, then you're really not doing much, right? If you are not making any waves and you are just right here, status quo, then you're not making change happen. And so it is okay if the person is in the back of the room with their arms folded and they're saying, nope, I'm not buying what she's selling. I don't like it. That's okay. Because if you change who you are for that one, you're very likely going to lose the 99 who are with you. So I know that there are a lot of leaders who listen to this, a lot of leaders who are trying to get people to be okay in their own skin, to do new things, to try new things, to be successful, to fill in the blank. I am going to challenge you to come as you are, because when you come as you are, other people can do the same. Other people can show up as who they are meant to be and not who they think they're supposed to be because you asked them to. People are very compliant by nature. Many people are very compliant by nature, and that means that they'll do what you've asked of them, and they'll probably hate you for it, or not be living their best life in their best selves in that moment either. How do we become more authentic? How do we become more willing to be who we were meant to be? Well, I think that starts with knowing yourself. Who am I? Who am I supposed to be? What gifts do I have? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And how can I leverage both, right? It's okay to admit your weaknesses. As a matter of fact, it's super important. And saying where your weaknesses might lie gives you permission to be great at the other things, right? And to let somebody else own those things. We talked a while back, it was actually one of my very first episodes. We talked to Joni Pilgrim, and she said that if something keeps falling off of my to do list, it's probably because it doesn't belong on my list. We are not meant to be good at everything. We're meant to be good at the things we're good at. And then we're meant to find people who we can surround ourselves with who will help us get better at the other things. But sometimes we think, oh, but I have to be good at this, and this. And I can't just be good at this and this. I don't know who taught us that, but I do know that it's not true. And we are meant to be good at the things we're meant to be good at. And we're meant to focus on those things. And that is what makes us the best version of ourselves. So, Quasi and I had a fabulous conversation. We continued our conversation after we stopped the recording and learned lots about ourselves. We talked about the Clifton Strengths Finder a little bit. I thought he would have more woo than he did, but we did have share two of our top five, positivity, and what was the other one? Communication, maybe. Anyway, but the positivity was definitely high on both of our lists because we're choosing to see really great things, right? And I think that that's really important to call out is that we have to find people who help us be the best versions of ourselves. And if that means surrounding ourselves with positive people, that's what we should do. And we should be pretty okay with that, right? We don't have to settle. We definitely do not have to settle. Something that I appreciated that Quasi said is when I asked him, how does he channel his best self on his worst days? He said he calls on a friend, right? He has somebody who will kick him in the tail and tell him he's worth it. The other thing he said, though, I think is game changing. He has a kudos folder. He has a folder where he puts all of the kind things that people say about him so that when he's having an off day, he can find it. Do you have a kudos folder? I don't, but I'm going to. I am going to create one because I really believe with my whole being that we need more of that kind of reinforcement instead of the kind that we tend to focus on, right? Because I can get 99 positive comments and the one negative one is what's going to stick with me. So, why wouldn't I want to have a space where I can focus on the other positive ones? I think it's worth it. Matter of fact, I know it is. So today on Productive Joy, I want you to think about what are you focusing your attention on? Are you focusing your attention on the positive or the negative? Are you looking for the things you're good at or the things you're not so good at? Are you choosing to put your energy in the person in the back of the room who's not buying into you, or are you putting your energy in the 25 to 50 people that are? I would love to tell you this is easy. It's not, but I am going to tell you that it's worth it. It's worth it to find the people who make you better, the ways that you can be sparkly and shiny, and the ability to know the difference between the two so that you can focus on the good. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today is to figure out how to focus on the good, to recognize that that is within your sphere of influence and that you can surround yourself with the Quasis of the world who are choosing to find that productive joy and make it happen. And the last thing I want to leave you with is his definition of productive joy. He used to be a respiratory therapist and he talked about the productive cough versus that cough, right? That cough doesn't accomplish anything. It's the productive cough, that deep cough that actually moves the junk to make you better. Gross. Yes, I was a science teacher though, so I'm all in on it. But he said that productive joy is something that you have to dig deep for. You have to work for. You have to find, and it might not be comfortable at first, but it's going to be worth it in the end because it will make you healthier. So I hope you're finding some productive joy today, and I hope that you are figuring out a way to turn fun into action.